In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to combine Nano Banana 2 and Higgs Field Cinema Studio to create animated videos with consistent characters, real camera movements, and motion that actually look cinematic. You don't need to know how to code, and you don't need to pay for anything. By the end of this, you'll have the full workflow down from start to finish. Higgsfield is a platform that gives you access to multiple AI models all in one place. The two we care about today are Nano Banana 2 for generating images and Cinema Studio for turning those images into an animated video. Think of Nano Banana 2 as your artist and Cinema Studio as your director. One creates the look, the other brings it to life with movement, lighting, and camera work that feels like it came off a real film set. Let's start with the images, because everything else builds from there. Head over to Higgsfield, click Create Image, and switch the model over to Nano Banana 2. The reason we're going with this one instead of Nano Banana Pro is speed. It generates images noticeably faster while still keeping the quality high enough for animated video work. Now let's say you're making a short animated story about a grandma and her cat. The first thing you need is a solid reference image for each character. Paste in a prompt that describes your character in detail, something like a realistic portrait of an elderly grandmother looking straight at the camera in a softly lit kitchen, wearing a floral housecoat. Set the resolution to 2K, the aspect ratio to 16:9, and hit generate. A few seconds later, your first character image is ready. But here's the part that makes this workflow actually usable for animation. You need your character to look the same in every single scene, not just one. So you're going to generate multiple angles of that same face. Paste a new prompt describing a 45-degree left side profile of the same character, upload the first image as a reference so the AI knows what to match, and generate again. Then repeat that for a right side profile. Now you've got 3 reference images for one character: front view, left side, right side. These are what keep everything looking consistent once you start animating. Repeat the whole process for the second character, in this case, the cat. Front-facing shot first, then both side profiles using the same reference upload method. Once all your character references are done, it's time to move into Cinema Studio. Cinema Studio takes a text prompt describing a scene and generates a cinematic video shot from it, complete with camera movement, lighting, and realistic motion. Start by generating the base images for each scene in your story. Click Image, hit the plus icon, and add the character reference images you created earlier with Nano Banana 2. Then paste in a prompt describing what's happening in this scene. For example, a cozy kitchen where the grandma places fresh cookies on a cooling rack while the cat watches from the floor nearby. Here's where it gets really interesting. Cinema Studio lets you control camera settings the same way you would on an actual film set. You can choose the camera type, the lens, the focal length, and the aperture. If none of that means anything to you, just click the recommended button and Higgsfield will automatically pick the best camera setup for your scene. You really don't need to understand any of it. Hit generate and you'll get a scene image that already looks cinematic straight out of the box. If the angle isn't quite what you had in mind, click Create 3D Scene. This lets you manually adjust the camera position until it feels right. Once you've nailed it, click Capture Angle and move on. Keep going until you've generated base images for every scene in your story. Each one gets its own prompt and camera setup. Once they're all ready, it's time to bring them to life. Go to the video option and select Single Shot. Pick one of your scene images and open up the Director panel. This is where you upload your character references, so the AI knows exactly what each character should look like throughout the animation. Add the reference images, give the character a name, and tag them directly inside your prompt, so the AI tracks them properly. Next, set the camera movement to whatever fits the scene. Handheld gives you that raw, documentary kind of feel. Static keeps things completely locked in place. Dolly in slowly pushes forward for something more dramatic. Pick a duration, set the quality to 1080 pixels, choose a genre that matches the mood of what's happening, and hit generate. The result is a smooth animated clip where the characters move naturally and actually look like the same characters from your reference images. That consistency is a huge deal because most free AI animation tools completely fall apart the moment you try to keep a character looking the same across different scenes. This handles it surprisingly well. If you want even more control, try the Multishot manual option. This lets you break one scene into multiple individual shots, up to 12 seconds total, where each shot gets its own camera movement and timing. So you could have the first shot dolly in on the cat sneaking a cookie, then cut to a static angle of the grandma reacting, then follow the cat as it bolts out the door, all from one setup. It gives you that real edited film feel without actually editing anything yet. Once all your animations are generated, the last step is stitching everything together. Import your clips into a free editor like Capcut, arrange them in the right order, make any small timing adjustments, and you've got yourself a complete AI animated story. Before you jump in though, a couple of quick tips. When you're writing prompts for your character references, be as specific as you possibly can. The more detail you include about clothing, lighting, expression, and angle, the better your results will be. Vague prompts always lead to vague results. And don't skip the side profile images. They might feel like an extra step, but those reference angles are exactly what keep your character looking like the same person from one scene to the next. Without them, you'll end up with a face that changes every time the camera moves, and that kills the whole illusion pretty fast. What kind of video are you going to make first? Let me know in the comments below. While you're there, check the description for some helpful resources that I've linked. And don't forget to like and subscribe.